Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 versus 1 on Semois. In the darkness of Semois, we shall be watching quite the fight unfurl into a bloody skirmish, a melee of proportions. We shall be watching T1ny, also known as Black Razor, or Razor, albeit with the trims of R, but nonetheless, one of the veterans of Company of Heroes, one of the old boys, one of the tough boys as well, fighting for the Americans, taking on the fight as the 1st Infantry Division. His opponent shall be Wmdchains, fighting for the Panzerlehr. And starting out with a bit of friendly chatting, you know, trying to casually interrogate your opponent. Well, what sort of strategy will you go for so I can counter it? And Chains, of course, going, well, I'm not sure, you know, I'm Swedish, we're insane. No, of course not. I just like teasing Chains, because he's Swedish. Anyways, we are seeing a full screen start out. And note here, actually, he's building it right here, and that's actually apparently after something I believe Sefa mentioned. He actually places his Wehrmacht quarters in the middle. And why does he do that? Because that way he can actually sort of have troops reinforce on the move throughout the thing and, you know, not stop it. And that's actually a clever thing, and certainly one way to do it. Of course, it also plays all the risk again, you know, you might get hit by artillery, but not a bad idea otherwise. Not a bad idea otherwise. Bit of wire going up here to protect the northern fuel point. Nothing there, of course, because as the Wehrmacht, you don't really get that much down here. Rifle on the way for T1ny. T1ny. Bit of, again, prediction, probably a bit of mind games, or just a bit of friendly banter, who knows? Certainly looking like the friendly banter, perhaps a bit of mind games, you know, trying to sort of figure out and perhaps rattle your opponent's chains. Ooh, a pun there. Oh yeah, but we are seeing a bit of heavy movement towards west, of course, light engineering right here in the east, but the Wehrmacht swinging down here again. This tends to be a much more common order now for capping. You send the Volkskrieger to take this point, at this point, then you leave the Pioneers to take this area. And of course the Volkskrieger can also wire off this area, thus ensuring you can't move up there. So of course some considerations right there. Western points are being secured. Wiring off there. Semois. And there we go. Das Stahldracht, I believe it's called in the German. Going up there. So far so quiet. These Volkskrieger actually seem to be taking a slightly more cautious approach. Nope, they are pimping up this right with a bit of barbed wire on the front. Before moving onwards, and coincidentally by pimping up this right, they also ensure the Americans actually can't take up cover there. So nicely done. And the rifle now rather quickly stopped from moving in here again. The barbed wire pretty much ensuring that anyone who's not an engineer will be funneled towards this point, and thus quickly stopped by the MG bunker. Engineers moving up here, but they are stopped by the Volkskrieger and a Pioneer combination force rifle, and though moving in now, following up. Leaving the ones in the center a bit on their own. MG42 could probably be a 2 Volkskrieger MG sniper start. One of these sort of lighter starts from the Wehrmacht. It could also be expanded, who knows. Wire everywhere. Yes, indeed. Nothing escapes your eagle eyes, T1ny. Screening the northern bit there. MG42 setting up in the middle of the road. You should of course be careful, could get flanked. Rifle caught there and got more wire there to sort of limit the movement of his opponent and catching him in negative cover. But of course, Rifle flanking in, going to move away that MG42. Rifle here, of course, could still run into problem. There we go. In fact, they are all pushed away. T1ny, rather than realize of course he's going to fight this, probably not getting much out of it. Immediately retreats, thus saving himself a lot of manpower, because what did he lose? Nothing. Again, sometimes that is what a good player knows and sees. He knows when to fight and he knows when to retreat, because you can see, I'm not going to win this fight and I'll probably just end up wasting manpower, which could be applied elsewhere much better. So very nicely handled right there, I think, by T1ny. MG though advancing. Chains might be going for the Semois pin. Unit stopped here though by a 2nd MG42 and a 5th unit on the way. Could be another Volkskrieger. That could mean the 3 Volkskrieger's 2 MG start. Very heavy, very aggressive Wehrmacht opening right there. Of course, you could also go for a sniper, which is the sort of in between, can still be used aggressively, but can also be used to quite nicely slow and drain an American opponent. It rather depends on how it goes. But we are seeing grenades. T1ny preparing himself for an all-out assault. Pineapple grenades getting to be ready to drop down the opponent's throats with a nice dosage of vitamin kaboom. The MD, though, stopping the primary part of the assault. We are seeing more rifle. Oh, he's got a rifle squad all the way up there. MD and Chains, of course, realize what is going on. We're seeing flamethrower pioneers going up. Mines going down in front of the church steps. And we are seeing a bit of a delay tactic right here as he's trying to get his MD to a slightly more safe point. We're seeing another MD hiding up by the bushes in the north. Quite the engagement right here, and Chains is largely able to get out of there without losing an awful lot and without giving up too much ground. In fact, the entire town centre to T1ny. Well handled right there by Chains. That was an excellent fallback right there. Might actually have ended up retreating myself, so definitely the mark of a good Wehrmacht player right there. Mining going up there, so even if they sort of sneak through there, there will be a nice explosive surprise. Wire off there. Again, lots of wire again. Changes primary target currently, of course, is to limit the movement of his opponent, to make it harder for him to sort of move about and flank, and of course funnel him into zones of death. Supply it up, sniper out. And then go up and getting stopped by the MG, firing up from behind the house. Chains could also consider wiring off this area. The engineers down here, though, suffering quite grievously. And they are down. The last man did not make it out of there. Supply almost done. Sniper has yet to reveal himself, so of course the question becomes, will he go towards something that could allow the sniper to rule further? No, we're seeing a trio center up, so a bit more infantry. He might as well, since he's already gotten grenades. Rifleman could be going in there. There's nothing there. There's a mine at the entrance, though. Mine at the crossroads. Nice, nice. And more barbed wire. Absolutely grand right there. Again, all meant towards funneling all of T1ny's troops towards specific kill zones. That's, of course, also minimizing, you know, chance of risk overall. And, of course, it can happen with lots of engineers. But, again, that's also going, if it happens, give Chains more time to also react to the flank. So at the best, the worst case scenario, barbed wire tends to buy you more time, unless of course he's rushing in with a tank, in which case, yeah, not so much. We are seeing the pioneers being dealt with here, trying to cut off the resource flow right here. Although this part is still connected. Force guys might want to consider retreating. They're not really in a sterling condition. Down to 3 men with very little health. They're actually running into the building to right line of sight. Interesting. Chains has still yet to retreat them. Mines going down there by the entrance to the yard. The Volkskraniers are slightly grumbling about this, and looks like they are pulling back.
Infantry squad lost.
And something is lost. Oh, he actually lost a unit, I think. That's really going to hurt T1ny right there. And we are seeing this weapon support turning up, so that sniper probably has fired a bit. Nope. He actually just went for it. But of course, now he knows that Chains has a sniper. Of course, he will be reacting to that. Heading into the center, though. MG at the far end of the cemetery wall. Mine goes off right there. MG quickly switches targets. Fires away with glee. But the other riflemen are actually not being suppressed. They're sticking to heavy cover. And they are going to get within grenade range. Going to force Chains' MD away. And there we go. Full retreat. Sniper could still do something. There's still the MD hiding up there. Interesting positioning. Kampfkraft center going. Kriegberg's up. And of course, Chains does not know what to expect. So he might get a pack at the moment. He could of course just get some grenadiers and equip them with a Panzerschreck. Rather than moving in, Sniper has to be careful. Vorsicht. And the MD-42 is not quite close enough to actually provide cover, but there we go. Sniper retreats, having shot someone in the face, and the American's stunned, trying to catch up, but of course he's getting away. Because all snipers are sprinters, athletic sprinters, or Olympic sprinters. Anyways, Another rifleman squad on the way to replace the one lost. Chains making up some movements again in the western side. Minesweeper's good. He's expecting T1ny to have mines, but T1ny has not actually laid down any mines at all, I think. I mean, he's mostly been spending his munitions on grenades. Oh, there we go, actually mines, and that means, of course, infantry doctrine chosen, and now, of course, Chains is aware. Chains is aware. He saw the rifleman go down with the mines, or lay them down, and thus, of course, Chains is aware now that T1ny has gone for the infantry doctrine, and also that he's gone right-hand side, so of course he knows also to expect artillery. Panzerschreck being equipped, so he's going up for this initially. Blowing up some poor bastard tombstone.
Enemy is seizing our territory.
Blowing up another. Seems like the Germans have an issue with tombstones, at least in this cemetery. MG a bit closer. Volker's getting pushed back. Veterans one up for Infantry to Chains. T1ny is basically waiting for Chains' sniper to reveal himself and then proceed to counter-snipe him. And there we go. Chains' sniper is moving in. In the meanwhile, the Grenadiers are holding up these riflemen decently well. And a Grenadier goes down. Browning automatics going up for T1ny. He's pushing on with the infantry. MG hiding up in the building nearby to protect against any sort of flanking in there, imagine. And there we go, the sniper moves in. Things are collapsing a bit in the north. And there we go. T1ny is moving in, the sniper. And he misses! He misses! And we're seeing a full retreat! And oh my goodness! Heinz gets him with a Panzerschreck rocket. I mean, definitely someone's going to get very popular with the ladies after this fight, but blimey, yes, I can certainly imagine why T1ny's going a bit, you know, F off, you bastard. I mean, I can't really imagine anyone who would be happy to see that. I mean, of course, it's pretty impressive, but still. Your sniper misses the counter-snipe, and then you pretty much get yourself sniped by one of the most unwieldy weapons to hit infantry with. Yeah, still bloody impressive. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, he's being a pretty good sport about it, of course, as soon as he thinks a bit about it, but still, I would not blame him for being a bit upset about it. I'd be too. I'm pretty sure most people would be. But of course, it's a bit more tragic he didn't get the sniper again. That's sort of the tricky part about counter-snipering. It's a bit too much hit and miss. And again, thankfully, snipers will be considerably more sensible when they can only cloak in cover in Company of Heroes 2, which does require a slightly more tactical approach of them, rather than just, you know, guys walking about invisibly out in the open. We're seeing pushing up. We're seeing another sniper out, so T1ny is continuing his sniper approach. He could risk losing a lot of manpower that way, although pretty sure he's not going to get another one sniped with a Panzerschreck. But nice flank right here, and oh dear, this position is quite quickly untenable. The Panzer layer troops are quickly retreating. Volker is caught out here, and now looks like T1ny doesn't even care. He wants something out of his sniper this time around, rather than last time where he pretty much just got wiped out before doing anything. Grenade going off. Sniper fires away. Rifleman flamethrowing is moving in. And the MG, there's no MG to actually cover this position, although one is rushing in. Mine down there, lovely. Mine going off, stopping the engineers most brutally, and the sniper is in a lot of trouble. Down to half health, although we do have Infantry 1 up for the support units, which also benefits the MG quite drastically. Medic bunker up for him. Oh, could get the sniper, but... oh, that was close. That was so damn close. Damn shame. But he's got gaining map control. He's certainly keeping up the pressure on Chains, and he's certainly not getting flustered by this, which is also definitely a good mark of a good player. That is, he's keeping calm no matter what. Which is definitely one of the things I have to work on a bit. I won't deny that. Sturmhabits are arriving from Corps Reserves. Probably some assault gun brigade. Mine kill some poor bastard. Could we expect to see mines up here? That would be nice. And of course mines there. Mines everywhere.
MG crew on me. Calibrating rangefinders now.
And already a few wounded being picked up. Sturmhaubitze rolls in and no veterancy for that.
Yes, Kamerad. Americans are seizing territory.
Hiding behind some crates and boxes. Not sniping at all. He seems to have gotten rather careful with the sniper all of a sudden again. And this did not quite work out. And we're seeing actually a mortar up for T1ny. He's actually getting some artillery support to help bombard the positions of Chains. That's not a bad idea, although must admit I'm not expecting that. I would have figured he might have tried to go for armor now. Perhaps some Shermans could help break the positions and the stranglehold of Chains. But apparently not. Veterancy 2 up for the infantry of Chains. Going to make the grenadiers much easier targets for the snipers. Stu 42 rolling in. Blasting away his 105mm howitzer. And we are seeing the riflemen pushing in. We could see the punch. Oh! Volkskrieger squad is down for Chains. That actually leaves him with only 2 squads, and he lost a Pioneer squad. Definitely making good returns right there. We are seeing the mortar though getting rushed. He could lose it. He could lose it. Oh, he did. And we did see. Oh, Chains lost a Volkskrieger squad more of him. He's now actually down to 1 squad of infantry. Sticky bombs on the stew. And the grenadiers are getting sniped. This is rather quickly turning sour for Chains. I mean, he got 1 mortar, but he's also lost considerably much himself. Oh, looks like a grenadier squad got reformed. That is going to minimize the overall losses, but still, that is quite painful. Losing 2 Volkskrieger squads in short succession. Oh, artillery went in, and he lost the Stu 42. That's quite a bit of manpower Chains suddenly lost in quite a few minutes. I mean, we're talking 2 Volkskrieger squads, I think a Pioneer squad, and a Stu 42. That's actually over 1,000 manpower. We are seeing a half-track now rolling out from the half-track battalion. Well, pretty much all of their Panzer Grenadier battalions were half-track, although they also lost a lot when they were forced to move in daylight in the open. But overall, they were one of the few units at all in the Wehrmacht that was fully equipped with half-tracks. Mostly, there would only be 1 battalion equipped with half-tracks if they actually even got that much. Some special cases were otherwise, like the Panzerlehr. That was the 21st Panzer Division, but they were largely equipped with converted French half-tracks. And there was the Nordland, the 11th SS Panzer Grenadiers, which did get 1 for 1st Battalion, 1 of the other regiments as well, partly because they were Nordics and needed to be impressed a bit. But we are seeing another push in there. Half-track though rolling in. Could do with a bit of veterancy for to decrease damage taken. Flamethrowers, MG42 sets up rifle, getting caught right in the middle of everything. Trying to grenade. Doesn't quite succeed. Suppressed. Oh, the carnage. We're seeing a second MG42 up. And artillery goes in straight on the MG42 and the pack. Oh my goodness. 6 men gone in a second, and the pack is wrecked. The Panzerabwehrkanone is kaputt. Absolutely devastating again. But this time at least he retained most of his infantry. And he only really lost a pack, but even then that was bloody painful. And now, for example, if T1ny was to get a Sherman, he could actually do quite a lot of damage against Chains. What is this? Half-track rolls in. Oh, spots the sniper! Oh, dear. T1ny is definitely not getting much out of his snipers. Partly because I think he might have been a bit too conservative, particularly with the second one, but, you know, perhaps also just not much luck overall. Yeah, he's still a bit grumpy, but again, he might have tried to be a bit more aggressive with his own sniper, which again, I think is actually a bit the problem. He's being a bit too conservative. And again, that is sort of part of the sniper mind game, you know. Should I use him properly, or should I just wait and hope there's because there might be a sniper nearby. And again, some players then sort of just switch the snipers about and then sort of move them about so they can sort of minimize the chance of there being another sniper. And of course, using something like a half-track to do so is actually pretty clever. Grenadiers here. Oh! Oh! Chains, get him out of there! Oh, we lost another Grenadier squad. Down to one squad of infantry again. We are seeing a nice flank up going up here by T1ny as well. Excellent, excellent. Half-track doing what it can. Getting covered in sticky bombs. Last squad of Grenadiers retreating. Damaged engine. We are seeing the MG42 rushing up through the hedges. Setting up to protect the half-track. The half-track doing what it can to sort of keep the riflemen at bay. And there we go. Heavy machine gun fire quickly suppressing them all. Wire cut. And now Chains' right flank is completely collapsed as well, and he does not have enough infantry to actually sort of keep it all contained. Storm armory up. He could go for some storm troopers now or some grenadiers.
Losing a sector.
Just trying to help, but he needs more infantry, I would at least argue. Because otherwise, again, I mean, T1ny will have the mobility advantage. Tank depot is lighting up. There we go, storm armory up. He's going for an armored car instead. MG relocating. Grenadiers following up. Half track. Still in need of repairs. Map is a bit of a mixed box of candies at the moment for Chains. It's actually time to have a look back at T1ny. Moving up there, a bit quiet. Mine down though. Oh! Setting up right there, and this allows T1ny to move up. Yes, indeed. And gun. Oh, mine goes off. Oh dear, we are seeing another MG being moved in though by Chains. Grenadiers are flanking the rifleman's position. Flamethrowers are moving in to dislodge them. And there we go. The Grenadiers are quickly getting toasted, taking heavy losses in the process. But ultimately, we do see the MG42 pushes away the riflemen.
Germans are seizing territory.
And a quick move up by T1ny on the western flank again to reconnect and resecure. And the Sherman is out. The M4 Sherman, workhorse of the Allied armies. American, British, you name it. They relied largely on the American Sherman because they were simply produced so many. Even the Soviets had a bunch of them to make up for the fact they couldn't produce enough T-34s themselves, or at least lost too many. There were several tank corps which were actually equipped with them, and the drivers were generally pleased with them, since they were slightly more safe than the Soviet T-34, which had some nasty tendencies of killing the crew. And were considerably also more comfortable to ride in. But Sherman moving in, half track is in what you'd call trouble. Not really equipped to take on a American medium tank. Whoops. Frame rate drop there. But quickly stabilizes, lovely. I thought it stabilized quickly, there we go. Of course, the thing to remember about the American Sherman, it was actually never designed to take on tanks. It was meant sort of as an infantry support vehicle. I mean, taking on tanks were partly part of it, sort of like the Stug, but its primary target was dealing with infantry and other targets. It was not primarily built to deal with other tanks. Again, that's what some people forget. I mean, in that sense, you can't just slug it out. You have to sort of use a bit more maneuver or some infantry support. And of course, that was also one of the major complaints. It really couldn't stand up to the German tanks at all. Of course, they did upgun it, which certainly made it more likely to knock out a German tank, but largely survivability-wise, it didn't really improve that much. Artillery, though, going in against the base of Chains. We're seeing two armored cars out, combining to a nice armored car patrol. Kriegberg's under fire. Kampfkraft Center could also go down. Something on the way from the Sturm Armory. We're seeing the Sturmgeschütz Sphere. Grenadiers are retreating. And there we go, Kampfkraft Center. No, Kriegberg's down. He couldn't even get the Kampfkraft Center. Oh, damaged engine! Grenadiers managed off a shot as well, and the Stug is moving in. This is going to be less of a happy story for T1ny, who's now switching over to the motor pool. Not entirely sure that's actually what he wants to do. But I'm probably going to get anti-tank guns. And I fear this German will be lost. Bit of a shame that it didn't do that much more damage. Well, I suppose a Kriegbergskorn is something. Again, going for the pin right here. Chains keeping up the pressure like a good German commander. And T1ny, of course, flanking in, hitting other flanks as well. Doing it nicely in that department. Wunderbar. Bit quiet, going up for the points there. And there we go, quick response in. Several armoured cars rolling in, veterans run up for the vehicles as well, going to decrease damage for 25%, also for the half track, which actually is quite something that can make a difference against sticky bombs. Right from here, they are getting blasted. Lucy retreat. And now this is interesting. This squad takes, by the looks of it, a completely different retreat route. One that is, in fact, much less safe. It's actually going straight through the German base, already down to 3-man. 2-man. Medic bunker almost done. Assault going up there. Most of the victory points are in the hands currently of T1ny, but that will soon change. 2 riflemen retreating. Dodging 1 mine. Armored cars are still hounding them. Mine off. BAR dropped. I believe there's something like a 20% chance of them dropping. Overall. MG42 in the north getting sniped. Armored car moving in. Tank destroyer on the way. The M10 Wolverine, which the Soviets also received in some quantities. Quickly getting suppressed by the MG42, although another sniper shot could finish off it. Ooh. Chains, the sniper is still there. And anti-tank opens up on the Sturmgeschütz. And the MG42 gets decrewed. Sturmgeschütz adding a bit of fire there. You could see another artillery strike in, but this would not be the best target. This could, on the other hand, be a tasty target, in particular since Chains will currently be rather occupied up here. And again, that's sort of one of the slightly sneakier things. Again, when you're using artillery, sometimes the best target is not the one in the thick of battle. It's the one far away from the thick of battle, where the opponent will not be paying attention. So things like that can also quite considerably help you do a lot more damage if you think about those as well. Your opponent's attention is just as much a resource as manpower and such, and again, he can't be spending it everywhere. He has to focus it. So that is also something to consider. Oh! Blimey. Small blockade position up here. Not a lot of infantry, though. Several armoured cars, of course. Half-track there to provide reinforcement. We are seeing some pioneers sneaking in. More mines up from Chains. And rangers out for T1ny. Adding in some heavier infantry. He could also consider getting Tops and submachine guns to add in the fun. Canadiers and Riflemen going to be facing down there soon. Sniper slowly leading the way. Chains, of course, probably expecting the other sniper to make a move and then to end that move. Ooh, that was damn close. Moving up there. Chains is slightly pulling back. That anti-tank gun is a bit of a problem. For him, of course, you could... Yes, indeed! Just as I was about to say, you could consider a Nebelwerfer. That should probably do the trick, and by the looks of it, of course, the Germans will be getting the 105mm howitzer. At least from the gameplay trailer. Die leichte Feldhaubitz 18M. Oh, both snipers don't quite get each other. T1ny still not getting much out of that sniper. Again, it's rather one of his major difficulties, which again can result in again basically a wasted sniper. But again, that is all part of the sniper mind games. Stormtroopers now out for Chains. Really quite the mechanized force waiting up here, and there go anti-tank and opens up. Tank destroyer could also roll in, or is he waiting for another one? Yes, indeed. Stuke hitting the rear. Oh, change. You might want to point that in the right direction. Rangers moving in. No Thompsons though, but he managed to push off the MG42 from the center. The stormtroopers managed to get off quite a few riflemen with a geballte Ladung. Pioneers moving in. Not quite meant to take on Rangers, no matter how much they'd like to.
Enemy unit down.
Oh, I think he was rushing in some Pioneers to get him a bit of line of sight, but the anti-tank gun pretty much ended that brutally. But we are seeing another Pioneer squad hiding in here, again acting as observers. This is Pioneer, this is Pioneer. We are being shot at. Please help. We don't have rifles. Nebelwerfer setting up. Bit of pushing in there towards the center. Half track getting blasted. Oh, direct hits on the anti-tank gun. Will Tiny try and get off the shot? Damn close. Oh. That crew's not going to make it. Oh dear, he did not move it far enough. Engagement though breaks out in the center. He's got quite a bit of artillery. Mine goes off, killing the Pioneers. Another bun grenade at the engineers. That was perhaps less grand. Anti-tank gun going to be recruited. 2 tank destroyers. I mean, one solid push here could actually do a lot of damage, but he's also going to have to be careful he doesn't hit a mine. In which case, it's going to be a lot less fun. Sniper booms up on the other side of the house.
What are my coordinates?
And we're actually seeing a Puma out, but he hasn't upgraded it, or repaired it fully, I mean. Still not a bad idea. Though I'm a bit interested in why he went for that one. Can do damage to it, but I'll actually need some more veterancy upgrades which really do something against it. Oh! Snipers next to each other! And, oh dear. Tiny sniper misses again. They must all be drunk. Tank destroyers are moving in though. Armored car could go down, and nonetheless, I mean, he will have lost 2 armored cars. He could even lose a Stuke right here. I'm still curious about the Puma upgrade there. Again, not going to say, but usually you don't see many players go for it. Tiger, though, moving in there. Perhaps some needle for support. No, that's up north. Tank destroyers moving back. Tiny further thing that no further engagement that's going to do much. And artillery going in there, trying to hit the stormtroopers, but they do manage to get out of the safety. And Rangers hit a mine, losing 2 more men. Chains holding the center decently. Sticky bomb. Oh, mine goes off. Mine goes off. Damaged engine. And there's nothing else to support. Of course, Tiny could consider getting himself a medic station. That could perhaps help a bit of the losses. But Stuke down. Half track going to be next. It's actually time to return to Chains, who's suffering considerably still. Down to infantry squads. A Tiger. A half track, which he has no more either. And artillery going right down there. We are seeing another Sturmgeschütz out though. And MG down. No idea why. Oh, Chains must not have been paying attention. Though it seems like he's finally stopped trying to move the sniper through the barrage. Tank destroyer down. That's actually going to turn things around again. Main gun destroyed. Less good. One more shot and that's good night. And there we go. In the base, another tank destroyer. The waits ready and eager. More artillery though softens up the Yankee invader. And Tiny patrolling with his sniper. He's probably not feeling very much like us now. We're seeing an MP42 up for Tiny. Probably one he stole from the Krauts. Not really going to do much against the Stuke though. Veteran 2 for the armor on the way on the other hand. Tiger pulling back. 20 kills for Change the Sniper. Tank destroyer up. Goliath on the way from the bunker.
Veterancy gained.
All 3 victory points, though, in the hands of the enemy at the moment. Nothing for Chains. In fact, that's actually going to drain him quite a bit. Goliath out. And he is moving out. And another Pioneer squad on the way. Goliath moving out. Will he try and disable it? Will he just run for it? And there we go. Goliath didn't actually do much. Artillery down here on the stormtroopers. They do manage to make it out. They do manage to enter the point neutral, but nonetheless, no victory point for Chains at the moment. And in fact, dominant map control is T1ny's. Chains holding pretty much only holding a sliver of territory right here, and slack chunk up there.
We're losing territory.
Trying to soften up the defense, though holding the cemetery with the Nebelwerfer. Sturmgeschützsphere rolls in. Could get sticky bomb though. Tiger getting blasted. Close down to half health. If only there was an anti-tank gun. Trade. Will the tank try man to escape? Just making up behind the house. And then move straight up into the line of fire again. That was perhaps less grand. And out of control. Tiger down though to half health. And we're seeing an off-map combat group. More tank destroyer, more riflemen, another mortar. That could be used to keep the pressure up on Chains, who is still considerably low on infantry. Although he's now actually training full Grenadiers. And Chains is actually wrecking his own MG. He doesn't want it to risk falling into the hands of his enemies again, apparently. He just decides to blast it. Right now, of course, would be a nice chance or time for Reptine to consider medic station, and of course, we could also consider some Shermans up guns to help with things a bit. Could certainly deal with the Stooks quite nicely. Well, the Tiger Corps is still going to need more a lot more tanks. Friendly fire scenario there. Bit of fire, bit of fire. And mortaring the bunker with his mortar. Nice choice. Engineers are not going to be making out of that alive, I think. Rangers actually trying to knock out the Tiger tank. And we're seeing artillery going in against the Volksgrenadiers. Thus protecting the victory point for a bit longer. Continuing the drain on Changes and the Panzerlehr's victory points. But the Tiger will not really last much longer if Chains does not get it repaired. More mortar fire. Careful, careful, you're next to the bunker, which is under mortar fire. And a bit of a quick refuge right there. Still manages to escape. Quite a few resources being floated, but sadly he can't actually do anything with it besides getting veterancy because, well, he doesn't actually have the population to train more units. So in this case he probably will just need to spend veteran, but there we go, point secured. He can train more units now if so desires. Tiger damaged engine. Very close. Very close.
We're losing a sector. We have 200 points.
Question is, of course, how does he want to finish? And oh! T1ny finally got a sniper. He finally got one. He finally killed Chains' sniper. I'm sure he's very proud of himself. Or at least pleased. Of course, now at least he has some chance of gaining dominance versus the infantry, which is already rather low numbered. And again, going for the victory point again. The overall map advantage of T1ny, of course, means he can pretty much be everywhere and harass everywhere, which is making it rather difficult for Chains, because, well, he's getting more infantry, but a lot of it is rather depleted. At the moment, Nebula is doing what they can, anti-tanking out, by the way. Stug taking hits. Rangers moving in, tank destroyers getting repaired, repairing the Tiger. Having a bit of trouble with the Stug, though. And, oh, anti-tank is going to get decrewed again, I fear. Stormtroopers moving up, getting sniped. Mortar keeps firing away. And an attempt by the riflemen to flank, sneaking up through the ditches, getting a Pioneer squad, repairing the Tiger. And the Stormtrooper squad is almost down, killed by the sniper. There we go, down to one man. And the riflemen did not get off the sticky bomb, instead they lost their nerve and retreated. Oh dear. Ow! Chains lost the Stormtrooper squad to the sniper. And another unit got mortared out. He's down to 2 infantry squads again. Suffering incredible infantry losses. Grenadier squad, though, gets reformed just in time. But he is under a lot of pressure. Tank destroyer might try and get the kill. Lots of units in need of reinforcement. And there's no supply upgrades for T1ny. Oh dear, he forgot about that. That could actually hurt him much in the long run. In particular with all the infantry squads he's getting from the off-map combat groups and other things. That's really going to drain him of manpower he could otherwise have had because of upkeep. That is very dangerous. Let's return to T1ny, who is indeed getting drained. And again, would probably benefit from it, but he's just going to keep at it with off-map combat groups by the looks of it.
We're losing ground out there.
And more rocket fire from the Nebula for only 4 kills though. More to decrewed. Stug moves in. Less than 100 victory points for Chains. Things are ticking down. Oh dear, he could lose a Grenadier squad. Oh, move before he could fire the bazooka. Again, going for the points. Larger engagement up here, but we're seeing an assault going in from Chains to dig out the Yankees. Still no supply upgrade. And Veteran C3 up for Chains' infantry, giving them quite the nice health bonus. I still think he needs more infantry overall. And a few depleted Stormtroopers moving out. Tank destroyer on it again. Could do the repair bang, and then go off map combat group. Tank destroyer, armored car, 30 caliber, and riflemen. We are seeing also an harassment attempt, but getting quite stopped by a considerably larger American force, 3 times the size actually. 12 versus 4. Bike out. Chains now wants to get that snipe, and he's going to use more cheap methods. Greyhound rolls in, and the sniper though is actually killed. This time at least he managed to earn himself in. Will we be seeing an attempt at a Greyhound mine or artillery right here? That could actually work. And there we got artillery going in on this rather clammed up position. And he got up on his squad, but he's actually moving into his own artillery. What are you doing, T1ny? Oh no! Stormtroopers getting off quite a few kills, but they could get lost themselves, down to 1 man. Riflemen, Rangers moving down through the other side, where there's less artillery to knock them out. Getting blasted though by the Tiger and the Sturmgeschütz. Suffering considerable casualties as they're trying to mount the remains of the cemetery walls. Quick repairs of the vehicles up north, fighting to regain the northern victory point from Chains' Grenadiers, who are actually also getting murdered right there. Rangers having trouble actually penetrating the side armor of the Tiger, or at least the front of it, because again, Coming here, there's no actual sidearm, there's only front and rear, so pretty much right here, that's rear, this is front. Although technically even then, if things were to be realistic, even the bazooka would have trouble penetrating the sidearm of the TIE because it had 80mm of armor. And the bazooka could pretty much only penetrate 60mm.
We're losing ground out there.
We'd actually have to fire at the rear to have a chance. Still, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry squads plus a ranger squad. That is 7 squads of infantry. Goliath moving in. Oh, blimey! He gets the Goliath. Well, he gets the tank destroyer with the Goliath, and the assault gun actually somehow survives. It does not get knocked out. Probably because the main gun gets destroyed. A bit unfortunate though for T1ny. Panzerschreck left behind could be used by T1ny against Chains. Who's moving out of force again to hit the right hand side, but this time Chains is a bit more prepared. He could consider an MG bunker or an MG to basically hold up things here with a smaller force without having to constantly divert something more precious. And the Raven here are definitely losing to the Veterans of Free Grenadiers. Tiger getting repaired again. Grenadiers moving up. Lots of Panzerschrecks in their hands. Grenade getting locked at the Riflemen. Not really doing much there though, except forcing that into the open where the Grenadiers can much more easily deal with them. Question becomes, what will T1ny do now? He is a bit crippled. He does manage to force away one of the Grenadier squads, but there's still the other one. There's also Veterans one.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
Bike could actually add in a bit of machine gun fire, and there we go. Adding to the pressure. Further engagement up here. 30 caliber pulling in. Again, going for the victory points. Perhaps he's just now hoping for the victory point victory, which is definitely not a bad way of doing it, considering he might be a bit more lacking now for a stand-up fight. Oh, we could see a Grenadier squad go down, but no. Yes! Oh, dear! And a Sturmhaubitze is up, but he will be lacking in anti-tank assets down here. And there is a Stu-42 on the way. An off-map combat group, perhaps some tank destroyers or something like that could be needed here. Or some mines or anything. Going in for the fuel point in the north. Hoping to strangle Chains once more. Deny him a lot of resources and cause a lot of population.
Victory point under siege. The Germans are moving in.
Going in for the victory point. 30 caliber. Now we go. Also opening up in the stormtroopers. The fight continues. Grenades getting lobbed in. Stormtroopers taking nasty losses. The Sturmhaubitze are now Veterans who flee as well with armored skirts. Moves in. Fails to make an impression first time around. Rapidly here forced away by the somewhat larger Grenadier force. Another bunker going up. Probably going to be a repair bunker for Chains. Question, of course, what is T1ny hoping to get from the off-map combat groups? He's hoping for tank destroyers. It would actually currently be cheaper to just build them himself. Since he has the building, he can even get some Shermans out. That could also deal with the infantry. Of course, he could just upgun the Shermans as well to help deal with the assault guns. This one, by the way, is in a poor condition. Trying to sticky bomb this Stu-42, and he succeeds, but the Riflemen themselves are quite blasted and going to run. Yes, and are going to get killed. This Duke actually survives artillery. Quite the lucky one. That's quite a few nasty things. Although I'm pretty sure the crew is a bit bruised from all the explosions. Grenadiers getting suppressed. The 30 caliber once more stopping them. The Stu-42 on the other hand flanking the MG. And so far actually killing some poor bastard. Another off-map combat group. And we do see Yeah, not really one he needs. He gets another Ranger squad. He gets an anti-tank up, but nothing that could absolutely give him some more speed. .30 caliber on the run. Mine goes off in the north. That medic bunker definitely has paid it off for itself. The assault guns with infantry support also doing quite well. Very nice assault gun tactics generally. Still no upgrades for his Rangers. Might have figured he could have done that. Perhaps it increases his chances a bit. But there we go. We are seeing a force moving in. In fact, sending in the entire off-map combat group down south. 30 caliber. No, that's not actually a 30 caliber. Mortar, Rangers, rifle, and an anti-tank gun. If used properly, it could probably do a lot to harm things. But of course, there's also the Nebula River, which could soften it up. Stu 42 moving in. Let us return to chains once more time. One more time. Nebula River tries to do a bit, but mostly ends up hitting its own. 38 victory points left for Chainsaw. I mean, it's not going to require that much more for him to lose the fight to T1ny. So this is going to be rather close, but the question is, does T1ny still have the force to really pull it through? We are now seeing quite some solid attempts here at wiring off, which is definitely one way of doing it. Again, he's mostly seeing infantry forces here, of course, without engineers, which T1ny only has one squad off. Well, I don't even think he has any, actually. He can pretty much stop this on the spot, so that is nicely handled. And we are now seeing, in fact, an assault going on here by Chains, hoping to minimize the position here, perhaps going for the cutoff point, or even go for a direct assault on the base. Stooks, Stu, and Tiger maiming and killing Americans caught out in the open. And clearing out a piece of the barbed wire right there. And there we go, the assault has commenced. He might want to set up the mortar initially. A bit too slow, perhaps he's got too much to manage. And we are seeing grenades going off. Oh, he killed his own mortar! And we are seeing a counter-assault by Chains to drive out the Americans, no matter the cost. He's also again floating quite a bit of resources. All on the rifleman squad, apparently. Doing quite a bit of damage. And a grenade more getting dropped on the German infantry. Tiger with 38 infantry kills, the Stu with 15, and the Stu now quickly rallying to the right-hand side. The Rangers are slowly winning this fight, but ooh, grenade really takes out quite a few. This is an absolute, well, slaughter. So much infantry is dead right within these few inches of ground, and the anti-tanker gets wrecked. Another stormtrooper squad out. The Panzer now out in full force, except for actually Panzers, except the Tiger. Pioneers getting pushed out. Riflemen rolling in. And looks like Chain is not even bothering, although he should be careful he doesn't go for the victory point here and gets that last bit. Nebula for rockets though, rain in. Oh, take a terrible toll. Would have thought he might have gotten some more veterans before, since that would actually increase the damage done. But we are now seeing a direct assault on tiny space. Machine gun replacement is gone. And there we go, victory point drain once more is on. Still no supplied upgrade. Definitely suspecting this is one of the causes for his loss. Had he gone for that, he might have had more resources in the longer run. Plus, of course, his riflemen would have been gaining a lot more veterancy and would have been thus much more dangerous in the longer run as well. I definitely think that might have been a few of the causes of his loss. And that was a bike quickly dealt with. He's not picking up the BAR right there, which could otherwise be used. Weapon supports are now getting cleared out. Stu rolling in. And he's apparently just moving in to get that bunker knocked out. And then quickly moving on. to escape all of it, perhaps going for that victory point.
Heavy panzer ready.
We're losing territory.
Another off-map combat group, but that's not really going to help. Bit of rifle, a bit of mortar, a bit of 30 caliber. That's not going to stop a Tiger and a Stu 42. Stu moving in, getting blasted a bit with rockets, but they're stormtroopers. Oh, Grenadiers running through the gauntlet, could get lost. And we're seeing a highly depleted force right there. Oh, Grenadiers scored down. And he secures the victory point over here. The drain continues again against Chains, but he's going in for the north as well. We're arriving and hoping to stop the Grenadiers right there. And the Rangers went down. And we're seeing a second Stu 42 being sent in to help clear out this mess. And the tank destroyer is inoperable. The main gun destroyed. Carnage, my goodness, the carnage. This has been quite the slaughter on Semois. And now Change actually decides to pull back. He thinks he's done what he needs to do. And the Lieutenant is out. The Lieutenant!
Okay, location is ours.
Let's just speed this last bit up. It's going to be a bit of a long game actually, close to an hour. Now there's actually a bit of quiet enough to actually do so, I think. Rifle moving in. Grenade off. Dead. Same in the south. Utterly depleted infantry force. Right here just getting plastered with fire and getting killed. 30 caliber opens up and responds. Very close, and looks like he might push in with the armor again now. Bit of Needler for fire to support. Stormtroopers actually end up losing. Mortar moving up, but also getting hit by the Needler. Armor moving in again. Right now secured a Panzerschreck, but now it might actually be a bit too late. Getting absolutely ground into the dirt. And another rifleman squad dead. Tank destroyer getting repaired, but for how much longer? Fire gone. Another off-map combat group. And again, not really much there. Tank destroyer almost down. GG, well played. GG, thank you. The RNG God smile upon you. Dear, not one of those. Of course, be wrong. But you played well. Oh, a good winner. Luck doesn't decide games. Very good. And also acknowledging, of course, they could have done better. That is definitely the professional attitude. Certainly also why he is that good in the end and how he lasted that long. So there we go. Well played, though, of course, but ultimately not well played enough. What could he perhaps have done better? Again, I think the supply up probably could have done with a few upgrades here and there. The Sherman probably shouldn't have been rushed in there on its own. I mean, it was a gamble, but again, it was also one that could have failed. Did he actually lose the Tiger? Fascinating. Anyways, good, you know, overall aggressive movement. He was close to getting actually changed, which also shows how good it was. I mean, it wasn't, you know, by coincidence he was down to 26 points, but ultimately that was a bit lacking. He perhaps should have considered, you know, defending these points a bit better with mines, so it would have been more expensive for Change to take them back, and of course Change could have done more to defend them. That was certainly a bit of bad luck, but ultimately I think there certainly were places that T1ny could have done better again. Supplied upgrades. Medic station would have helped him in the longer fight, I think, although he wasn't lacking infantry. He was a bit unfortunate with his anti-tank guns bringing the battle fire, and I think he could have done more in some cases rather than calling off-map combat groups, but basically just get more armor out from the tank depot. So again, though, that's those sort of situations. Should I go for the off-map combat group, or should I go for something from a tank depot? And in this case, perhaps the tank depot would have been a better choice in the longer run. But there you go. I do hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Wmdchains saying cheers.